Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am BorderWise and welcome back to From the Depths. And welcome indeedy to something I should have covered a long time ago, but I didn't, and I was recently reminded that it's something that I should do, so here we are. It is 3-clip APS Tetris. So some time ago I did do a video on 4-clip APS Tetris because the universe, well, the internet, well, some people on the internet were getting on me to learn that, and people kind of have to show me. But then 3-clip Tetris came into my life, and so, why would you ever do 3-clip Tetris over 4-clip Tetris? Well, according to the people who have done the math, and I don't dare disagree with them because they like math and I don't, 4-connection APS Tetris, which, by the way, just to illustrate what exactly that is when your APS system is based around a little pattern of loaders and clips that looks something like this, and then you prefab that, and you get this kind of repeating pattern, which is very material efficient, right? So you do that, and you do that, and you do that, and there you have a Tetris. Now, 4-connection Tetris is apparently only about 5% more material efficient than 3-clip Tetris. And 3-clip Tetris is a lot easier to use, and you can in fact leave mirror mode on while you do it, which is why it is absolutely fan-dabby-dozy, and we're going to talk about it today. So, how do you do it? Well, first off, you start with something like this. I'm going to get rid of that first, though. I'm going to hop onto our ready-made little turret here, which is 13 by 13. So you start like so, and you place like so. And in this particular case, the inputs are going to go on the bottom, like so, and then you're going to have connectors or something lined up like so to connect it all on top. So I am going to get ourselves a pattern in here, and we're probably going to speed through that, and I'll see you in just a moment. Alrighty, so here we've got as many of these 3-connection clips as we can possibly jam in here, but we've got a little bit of a problem in that it doesn't fit exactly into this particular turret shape. Not to worry, that's not a disaster. There are a number of things we can do here, one of which I'm just going to be nice and lazy and just have some spare, just 2-clipped things over here in the front. But that does leave the question of what to do with all these leftover holes. Well, this is where you can stick, if you're using a railgun, or building a railgun rather, this is an excellent place to stick railgun charges. But if you're not making a railgun, what you can do is you can just have little cooling towers, like so. And so I'm going to prefab just a few of these, and I'm going to stick them in willy-nilly, all over the place. There, there, there. So we're pretty much absolutely guaranteed to have cooling. So, right here we have all this perfectly filled, and there's really only 2 bits in here that have not very efficient 2-clip Tetris. So that's very nice. And the whole thing took, looking at the timer, that probably took less than a minute, maybe 2, in order to set up. And of course, to finish it all off, you would just connect up all these autoloaders and these gauge snakes and all that stuff. And then you have a turret on top of it. In fact, I'm going to do that. Cue the sped up footage again. And there we are, we have a little gun, and we're just going to quickly make up a shell for it. And let's just see here, what we've got here, we want 2-meter long shell. That'll do. One more gunpowder casing. And we're going to assign that all. And then from there we can see what do we need more of. All right, so we need a little bit more cooling. That's easy to do. And let's do a little more cooling, like so. Whoops, we need something there. This is also a very good opportunity to look inside your little Tetris there and just make sure that everything is up to snuff. It looks like we're getting there. We've actually got slightly too much clips for what we want, so I'm going to replace these like so. And we even need even more cooling. Right. But we've basically got a APS system right here. And if you're wondering about the stats of it, this is not perfect. Material per firepower is around 789.5. Which, let's compare that to one of the pre-made APS. Let's compare that to this fella. Let's see how this is. So this guy is 789.5 material per firepower. This guy is material per firepower is about 1026.5. So no matter what with APS, you're probably going to see kind of high numbers here. But this is significantly better, even though it is bigger. It is actually better. So, that is one way to do the 3-clip Tetris, but how do we get ejectors in there? Which is very much a valid concern. So let's do that all over again, but this time we're going to stick ejectors in. And it's pretty much exactly the same kind of process. The difference is what your starting prefab is. So to start off with, we're going to do pretty much exactly the same thing we did before. We're going to have 2-meter clips, and we're going to have some inputs on the bottom, but we're going to stick an ejector in there. So you get there, a Nano ejector right here, boop, and in order to make sure that this 3-clip setup, it needs 4 inputs. So I'm going to put 2 inputs there. I'm going to stick a cooling unit there. And then I'm going to have something like this. So this automatically is about 1 meter taller than what we literally just did. But that is okay, because now we're going to carry on with what we were doing. Prefab, a little bit higher, and then we're just going to turn on mirror mode and do pretty much the same pattern we did before. So, back in a second. Alrighty, so there we go. We've got some stuff. So, in the little gaps here, I am just going to stick a whole bunch of coolers and a whole bunch of recoil absorbers, because that might be a good idea. So, I'm going to do exactly that. And again, I'll be seeing you in just a second. So we've got a whole nice bed there, and now we can just connect them up, and we should have enough recoil absorbers and all that jazz, but in case we don't, we're always going to stick more in. It's better to have slightly too many than slightly too little, because if you have too many, that is what we in the business call redundancy. And redundancy is good. So now, before we set our shells to go into this gun, we just need to edit it, because with ejectors, it's not enough to just eject them. They need to be nice and safe before you do that. So we're going to stick an emergency ejection defuse. Once you get into the habit of using ejectors and defuses along with those ejectors, seriously, you will never go back. You will never, ever want to use shells that don't have that specific combination ever again. So you can see right here, we need more cooling once again. No problemo. No problem whatsoever. Just need to stick some more cooling in here. We are almost there. Better to stick the cooling vents in the back, by the way, because coolers are kind of expensive, but recoil absorbers are have slightly better armor, so better to stick the slightly tougher thing just in the back. So let's go there, and we have won. We have successfully made a pretty balanced APS. And let's see, what's our firing rate? It's about 128 RPM, so same as the other one. Goes bang, bang, bang. And the magic of this is that when you... Whoops, shouldn't do that. Is that when you blow up one of the clips, it's not going to be a problem. For instance, I have a 30,000 damage explosion. I kind of forgot my fortress was completely filled with ammo. Let's just change that quickly. So, are you filled with stuff? No, you're not. Let's just refill all that. That was embarrassing. I am not qualified for anything anymore. Are you full? You are full. And I'm just going to remove that preemptively. So, if I do that again, you will notice that the entire APS system has not gone kaflooey because when the shells are ejected, they don't do anything. They're nice and inert and not a problem, and this makes a huge difference. If you do APS, I've rattled on about this before, if you do APS without this particular combination of ejectors and emergency ejection defusers, you will have to get used to your systems going kaflooey a lot. So, let's just do that. And let's just shoot at a bunch of Marauders simply because we can, because Marauders are fun to shoot at. And there you go, that's pretty much 3-clip Tetris. There's nothing incredibly amazing about it. The main advantage it has over the more efficient 4-clip Tetris is that, well, it's just easy. You saw how quickly I could just make not a bad APS system, actually. And in fact, if you working the ejectors and into the arrangement, just they have already every little clip setup has one cooler and one recoil absorber, then suddenly, like, you don't need to mess around with it that much. It just works pretty damn well. So yeah, 3-clip Tetris, can recommend. It's pretty much all I use these days. Like, why would you use anything else, really, if you're lazy like me and don't care too much about efficiency, but will use efficient stuff if it's easy. So, thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Support me on Patreon or YouTube membership if you like. It really helps. And there's fun perks in it for you. Thank you to all my current supporters, and I will see you next time in From the Depths. Farewell.